What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. I was running a little bit late, people. Apologies. I had dinner. I was trying to edit, and then I don't know if you've seen the Bruno Guimarães news has just broke that Arsenal are going to make a second bid. So there was a million things happening. But we're here, people, and we're still burning up in England, people. Burning and burning, burning. We're burning, people. It is hot. The fan is working hard over there. Big up to everyone locked in. Hope you all are well. And we're here, people. They have made 10 changes in the Norway team. So we do not get the Haaland versus Mbappe battle that we hoped for. But Mbappe does start. So I looked here. I said if Mbappe and Haaland don't start, we won't do it. But if Mbappe starts, we'll do it. You know, he's probably my favourite player. British heat is unnatural. Please. I'm so glad you're telling them this. Because people are on to me in the comments. Come to Texas. Come to Jamaica. Come to Australia. This English heat, I swear, I'm in a headlock. I'm in a headlock, people. I feel like I'm in the oven. It's so hot. But listen, we'll deal with it. We're going to watch this game. France against Norway. The French team, Mike Mignon. Koundé at right back. Theo Hernandez left back. Lacroix from Palace comes in for Saliba, who's rested. Upamecano at centre-back. Manu Kone, who we've been linked with, Hand of Arsenal's confirmed it now that we are talking to his agent. Plays in midfield over Rabiot with Tchouameni. Desiree Doué on the left comes back in for Barcola. Elise plays in the 10. Dembele on the right. Kylian Mbappe is through the middle. The front line is just a cheat code. It really, really is. I'm just quickly, for everybody locked in, before they kick off, because they kick off in about, I think, 30 seconds. Yeah, they're about to kick off, people. We have got the news about Bruno Guimarães. Craig Hope actually was staying in the same hotel that I was in last year in Singapore, because Newcastle were in our hotel, and he is the chief football writer for Newcastle in the Daily Mail. So he was telling me at the time about Alexander Isak and whether, you know, they thought he was going to go to Liverpool. He tweeted around 15-20 minutes ago, Arsenal are preparing a second approach to Newcastle for Bruno Guimarães. Intermediaries have been told by Newcastle's hierarchy that the player is not for sale, and it is likely their stance will remain the same. I look at it like this. I just don't think Arsenal would be coming back again if they didn't think they could get him, if they weren't being given a lot of encouragement. 1 minute silence. Okay, let me leave it. Apologies. I didn't even realise. Who was the minute silence for, people? Let me know. Is it because I know they just said Deschamps lost his mum? Was it for that? Yeah, they've got a sign up for Didier Deschamps. I'm assuming that's what it was for. So yeah, obviously condolences, man. That's very sad news. Deschamps flown back to France. Apparently, the assistant manager is in charge. People saying Venezuela. Okay. Oh, the earthquake. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear it. I got the commentary turned down. Venezuela earthquake, yeah. Condolences with the families, man. Shocking. But I see the French were holding up that poster for... I don't know if anybody's watching this on ITV, by the way, in the UK. Vieira, Ian Wright, Roy Keane, the three pundits. Vieira and Roy Keane just bantering each other. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He said, oh, Manu Kone. Roy Keane said, is he a bit of a water carrier then, Patrick? And he goes, no, I don't like that term. It's disrespectful. And then Vieira goes, yeah, they used to say you were a bit of a water carrier at Man United, Roy. And Roy says, well, I was paid well for it anyway. It's great banter. Then Roy Keane disses Odegaard. They showed the Norwegian fans playing the drum. And he goes, no Martin Odegaard tonight. He goes, Odegaard probably got injured playing that drum. He's always injured. Oh dear, great banter. Mbappe down the right hand side. Mbappe's hit the crossbar after 20 seconds. Oh my days. Down the right hand side. I think the goalkeeper saved it. Norway have made 10 changes. They're going to get slapped. Honestly, people, if you'll watch, or if you can rewind it or watch it back, the banter was outrageous. You can tell that Keane and Vieira, they're cool, they're friends, but they've still got that rivalry deep down. You know what I mean? It's funny, man. Yeah, I like the Norway kit as well. It is nice. Money talks louder than words. If we give them a good offer, Newcastle will say yeah. As I said today on the stream today, people, Bruno, I believe, he'll want to leave. And when the player wants to leave, it's different. There's no way Arsenal make a second offer if they haven't been given encouragement. Not a chance. Not a chance. It never happens. You know what I mean? We're a club that if we get rejected heavily, we walk away. Alexi Lalas got relegated. Hey, and listen, man, I saw you put about swimming. You know me, there's banter involved. But, you know, Phelps is obviously a legend in his sport. He said about this goat convo. See, as a former swimmer, I'm had to think any swimmer can't be a goat. It's all relative to per what athletes do in the setting they can do. Can Bobby Fischer not be the goat from chess? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as fans, we view certain sports higher than other sports. Do you know what I mean? So somebody being a GOAT in a certain sport, you're not going to view it the same way as a different sport that you take more seriously or you think is a more difficult, more prestigious sport. There's a little bit of entertainment attached to it, information and entertainment. You know what I mean? I think he saves that, you know. That kit is clean, by the way, that French kit. He saves that, tips it onto the ball. Dino said Bruno is who I've always wanted in centre mid. Yeah, I'm all over that. He's one of the names I've mentioned for a while. Yeah, you know, I'm a big fan. I want to see what this Manu Kone is like because Vieira was basically saying that Manu Kone is the best French player in midfield. He said, look, he's better than Camavinga. He said he's the best centre midfielder that France have got. Big up NS6. France on the attack. Will I do Spain? 1 a.m. Just come back off holiday. It's very unlikely, but it's so hot that I might do it because if sleep's a myth, make sure your notification bells are switched on. Sleeping in this is just ridiculous, so it might make sense. And if I end up watching it, might as well stream it. Big up to everyone locked in, man. Bruno in a double pivot with Rice. I'd say City's midfield. Who do they play? Bruno. Listen, it'll be one of the best centre mids in Europe. I'm sorry. It really will. David said, only global icon is Michael Jordan. Have people in New York had Messi shoes stolen off their feet? I hear you. And listen, I do agree with that. The global impact of Michael Jordan on and off the pitch. Kone's shot's blocked. Good volley. Good save. Comes back again to Kone and misses it. Oh, France are all over them. Yeah, we've already got the cone, man. Do we need Manu Kone as well? Yeah, no, you're right though, people. You're right. MJ's impact is almost bigger than the sport. But I think it's a good discussion to have. My grandmother has no idea who Michael Jordan is, says Alexander. Sleep is a myth in this heat. See you then. Yeah, probably will. I've got a fan on me right now. It's doing absolutely nothing. It's just spinning round. Camavinga isn't really rated that high. Yeah. No, I was kind of surprised when Vieira said that. He said Manu Kone is the best French centre midfielder. But I think Camavinga hasn't had enough work consistently in midfield, you know. They've gone with Valverde, Tchouaméni, Bellingham at times. Nike Air Jordan is the biggest sports brand of all time. I hear it. Vinny or Kvara? I think Kvara would suit Arteta's style more, but I like Vinny more. I like Vinny more than Kvara. So, if it was me, Vinny, but with Arteta in charge, I'd take Kvara. I like those more. I think he's more exciting. Not necessarily better. I just think he's a more exciting player. The unraveling that Bruno G would do for Arsenal midfield. Oh, mate, honestly. He takes so much pressure off Declan Rice's shoulders as well. That's the thing. I'm looking at the bigger picture of, like, our team this season. We wouldn't have won the league, in my opinion, if Declan Rice didn't stay fit all season. So you need somebody that... And we always say Newcastle's midfield. It's one of the hardest in the Premier League to play against. And I think he's the best out of the three. He's aggressive. He can drop in the six. Mbappe puts a great ball out wide. Here's Osman Dembele. Dembele should have hit it. But he scores. He doesn't need to. Osman Dembele gives France the lead. I thought he should have shot with his left foot. He cuts it back onto his right and scores in the far corner. I mean, you're watching the best team in the World Cup, but the best team doesn't always win it. Great counter-attack. Mbappe drops deep. Long ball into Dembele. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Cuts in on his left foot. You're thinking, whip this in the far corner. And he chops back onto his right and drills it into the far corner. 1-0 to the French. Listen, Norway aren't taking this game too seriously. Like, they've made 10 changes. What a finish that is, by the way. Looks equally comfortable on both feet, don't he? Why have I put 10-0? Probably will be 10-0 the way they're defended. That's a great goal. Goalkeeper's got no chance. 1-0 to France after 7 minutes. Osman Ballon d'Or. Yes, we are going in with a second offer for Bruno Guimarães, which for me, people, tells me they've been given encouragement. All this line of Newcastle not willing to sell, heard the same thing last year about Isak. They're not in the Champions League this season either. Do you know what I mean? They were in the Champions League last season and they still got bullied for Isak. And Isak had like 3 years left on his deal. So I wouldn't get too carried away in the fact that they're saying, oh, Newcastle are saying they don't want to sell him. Don't worry about that, mate. PSR, no European football. Transfer requests are so, like, rare nowadays because I think we spoke about it before. If you hand in a transfer request, you give up your bonuses in your contract. So you would leave, you'd get a signing on fee, but your bonuses you would give up. So what players do nowadays is get their agent to publicly put out there that the player wants to leave. So it doesn't actually come directly from the player. So they don't give up their bonuses in their contract. You know, back in the day, players just handed in transfer requests. Doesn't happen very often now. So I reckon you'll hear his agent start saying that he wants to leave. They'll say he just wants to focus on the World Cup. They'll give it all that. But behind closed doors, his agent will be saying to Newcastle, I want out. I've been here for years. I've won you a trophy. I've got you in the Champions League. It's my time to go now. You've sold Isak. You've sold Gordon. Elise gets dragged back. That'll probably be a yellow card. Reminds me of career mode back in the day, yeah? Petit said Elise is the most important French player. Well, Vieira said Platini, Zidane, Elise. He said he's the best creative player that France have had since Zinedine Zidane. I mean, that's not bad to be mentioned with those names. It's a guy that was playing right wing for Palace. I can't believe the level that Elise has gone to. He's unreal. See, thoughts on Lacroix to Chelsea? I think he's good. I think he's good. He's going under the radar. He's not amazing, But I honestly don't think the level of centre-backs are that good. You know, you look at... He walks into that Chelsea team. Oh, should have been a chance there for Norway. Shot saved by Mike Mignon. Yeah, I think he's good. I think he's good. We do well at Chelsea, but Chelsea, it just depends. I know they got Palestra. Yeah, they're getting all the FIFA players, man, with Team of the Season. Well, Lacroix hasn't, but he's got some good cards. Norway on the attack. I'm a bit gutted that Haaland ain't playing because the French back four is not amazing. But yeah, he'll get a move from Palace, Lacroix. Happy birthday, legends! Have Muhammad Ali and Kobe tats. No one has Messi. Well, listen, it's a great discussion. I was really trying to create a discussion. So I like it. Big up to everyone locked in. BTEC Saliba, yeah, he is. Mark said, just watch your earlier pod. Great show. When MJ was the man, I still love Dominique. AI was another beast. Listen, I think GOAT discussions are subjective to you. I think that's something nobody can take away from you individually. Who is your favourite footballer? Who is your favourite sportsman or athlete? A lot of it is down to the impact that that person had on you. Like me growing up, I was a young striker. I was always watching strikers. I always said a lot of the strikers that I loved growing up, the first guy I ever watched properly studied, Romario, one of the first. I used to watch videos of Marco van Basten, one of the best finishers, in my opinion, of all time. I used to love Robbie Fowler as a finisher. Left-footed. I loved the angles, the way he used to hit the ball. I loved Ian Wright. I still think Ian Wright is one of the best natural finishers we've ever seen in the Premier League. There's not many better than him. France could be in. Here's Elise. Oh, he's missed it. It's blocked. Should have scored. But R9 was the player that when I watched him, he just looked better than anything I'd ever seen. I just thought, I've never seen a player on that level. The pace. People talk about R9 at Inter and Real Madrid. I think R9's peak might have been Barcelona. But people really focus on the Inter Milan R9. So, yeah, Fowler, they called him God Fowler. Bro, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ian Wright, just natural finisher. You couldn't get on his level in front of goal. The amount of different finishers Wright he had as well was crazy. And then obviously Thierry became the guy. Nick, you know, innit? R9 Barca. You had Bobby Robson on the touchline. Like, what have I just seen? He's ran through 4 players with a gold chain on. Adriano could have been one of the GOATs. As a left-footed striker with pace and power, he had everything. Neymar over R9. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Nothing more. No, not out of spite, just out of respect. Just give you 3 minutes to reflect. Maybe watch a video. Maybe his best 10 goals ever. And then reassess it. You know, Zidane was... Like I said, people, if you came in the comments now and said, Zidane's the best footballer I've ever seen. Oh, they should have scored. Strand Larsen puts it over the bar. French defence looks shaky. If you said Zidane is your favourite footballer of all time, I'd go, I totally understand. He's one of the best I've ever seen in my life. I love Zidane. Love Zidane. What a player. Ronaldinho, I think the most entertaining footballer of all time. Look at Upamecano getting done there. I think Ronaldinho is the most entertaining footballer the world's ever seen. He just simply made everyone want to watch the game. The skill. Neymar was the closest thing that we've seen to Ronaldinho, really. But I still think Ronaldinho was better. And then Thierry. Thierry for me is the Arsenal GOAT, you know, the Premier League GOAT. R9 at Barca, 19 years of age, 51 games, 47 goals. And the way they used to tackle you in them days. Zidane's the best midfielder. Messi is the best footballer. Yeah, listen, I can see that. Ronaldinho is the Michael Jackson of football. Just pure entertainment. Even the other day when Brazil were walking out and he was dapping up all the Brazil players, and he just grabbed Neymar at the end, and then he had a little with Vinny as well. And you just thought, look at this guy, man, Ronaldinho. What a player. What a player. Nesta, Maldini, Cannavaro, Kahn, Buffon, even goalkeepers and defenders were stacked. Yeah, bro, genuinely. I always say late 90s, early 2000s, for me, was the peak of football. Buffon is probably my favourite goalkeeper of all time. I love this story. Gunnar Zion, I saw Alan Shearer in peak years outside a McDonald's motorway stop. Told me to F off. I was 9 years old. Lovely memories. What did you say to him to make Alan Shearer tell a 9-year-old to F off? That's what I want to know. Like, surely you didn't just say, hi, Alan, and he said, F off, with his Geordie accent. I'm sure you would have said something to him that he didn't like. Oh, look at Doué's touch, man. Jeez, these French players. I'm sure I need to know what you said to him, man. What did you say to Alan to make him tell a 9-year-old to F off? Yeah, were you wearing a Kevin Phillips Sunderland shirt at the time? He's out of retirement now. I ain't getting that shirt, man. That team, they're in the 3rd division, aren't they? Is Rafinha out of the World Cup? Because apparently he's injured, isn't he? What's going? Have they ruled him out, or is there something else you're referring to? Here's Doué through ball, Mbappe left hand side. What's he got? Oh, good save by the goalkeeper. Tried to whip it back at the near post. Oh, Rafinha is apparently bankrupt. People have to understand, by the way, that bankruptcy doesn't mean you're necessarily broke. I saw that story earlier, and a guy said, oh, Rafinha's broke. He's bankrupt. I said, you do know there's like multi millionaires that are bankrupt. Are you getting ads on a live stream? No, big up for telling me that. As I've always said, people, and I stand by this, I do not add ads to my videos or streams. I don't want to ruin the viewing. So if you are, tell me, and I can try and edit it. It's controlled by YouTube automatically. So let me know. But yeah, YouTube Premium. Well, yeah, I've got it. I think a lot of people have, but not everyone, of course. You're getting ads, right? Okay, cool. I'll look into it and try and take some of them off. I think you can edit how many they play. Oh, France on the attack, but it's blocked. It's because of country and region, is it? Okay, fairs. Get you, I said you cheap, but 50 Cent was bankrupt. Exactly. Bankruptcy doesn't mean that you are broke necessarily. He might have financial things where, you know, people are trying to get money off him, so he's doing it. He doesn't have to pay things out, so I wouldn't get too caught up in people thinking that Rafinha's got no money. It's probably on about 200 grand a week. It is claimed the Barcelona's winger's father controls 80% of the rights and income from his career, with Rafinha only learning the full situation when he attempted to buy a villa with his wife. Okay, so it sounds like his dad is controlling his money, which a lot of footballers might do. You're young, you're getting a lot of money, and his dad's probably done a madness with the money. Mbappe's destroyed him. There's Dembele. Dembele. Oh, Dembele. Wow. Dembele said, what? You lot want to leave me out of Golden Boot winning discussions? Mbappe assist. Makes the run around him. I'm thinking he's going to reverse the pass into Mbappe. Dembele bends it into the bottom corner from the edge of the box. What a finish. 2-0 to France. Dembele with both. Some people saying it's fake, the Rafinha news. Fears. 2-0. Game over. Should we lock it off? Yeah, they don't give Ballon d'Ors for no reason. I heard a crazy stat the other day that Dembele hadn't scored in 19 games for France. I was like, what? And then he scored, what, 3 in his last 2 games now. He scored in the last one. Which is madness. Put some respect on the name. He's kind of the forgotten man for France, isn't he? It's like, we all focus on Mbappe. But this guy, yeah, keeper couldn't get near it. The talk now celebration. Because I think he gets a lot of criticism in France. He's like, what? Oh, Norway could be in. Norway have scored! 2-1, what a game. Norway have got one back. There's no way I saw that one coming. No way, Norway. I don't know. Dad joke, it sounded great in my head. 2-1, people, 2-1. Straight from kickoff, FIFA goal. Roll it back to the edge of the box. This French defending is awful. They're missing Saliba. Unmarked. Oh, how many years, people? I don't know how many times I've got to tell people that this Upamecano can't defend. He's dreadful. He's big and he's strong and he's dopey. He's dropped the shoulder on him, sent him to the shops. France will win this about 6-2. They'll score loads, but they'll concede again. Terrible. Upamecano, man. I remember when we were linked with him, when Emery was manager. And I thought, let me really watch this guy. And I'll be honest, he looked all right for, was it Leipzig? And then ever since, I don't know how he stayed at Bayern and in this French team for so long. Yeah, big up my bro, Akeem. Upper Maguire, I'm telling you. No, when did Haaland get so small? Man turned up with a ponytail, looking like a B-Tech Haaland. Curtis, you want Allegri and Max Aarons. Dark times, man. Dark times require dark measures. If you put a starving man in a room and you serve him bread and tap water, that looks like a 5-star meal. But on a regular day, if you get tap water and bread, you ain't going to want it. We were starving people. Allegri, that's not outrageous. Max Aarons, Hector Bellerin was tree planting. Max Aarons looked like Cafu at the time compared to him. So I won't apologise, people. We were desperate. We were desperate. Big up your damn self. We were desperate, people. You know what I mean? Oh, bro, do you know the funny thing, right? I saw a picture of Arteta today with Hincapié. They must have taken the picture before, but they used it to announce Hincapié signing on a permanent. And I know this sounds crazy. And it might even sound a little bit disrespectful considering he just won us a league title. I saw the picture of Arteta and I thought it made me feel stressed out seeing a picture of him. Does that sound crazy? He's just won us the league title. I looked at the picture and I thought, you're going to genuinely destroy my football viewing for the next 10 months. You're also going to give me 2 or 3 incredibly boring press conference reactions every single week for the next 10 months. That I just hope by the end of it will lead to a trophy lift. But you literally have a big impact on my mood for 10 months. And I thought, I'm having a great summer not having to talk about Mikel Arteta. I'm telling you, bro, I feel like I've served somewhere on tour and I'm waking up with flashbacks. Anyway, I'll read the Twitch comments, bro. Big up. Arteta disorder. I'm telling you, we've been through a lot. The title was, that was what we got for all the suffering, Waffles will be upgraded. I hope so. I hope so. We need proper waffles, like when I went Disney World, Mickey Mouse waffles. We need proper ones. American waffles. Back to Coleman business. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying games. I'm chilled out watching the World Cup. I know what's around the corner, man. I know what's around the corner. 0-0 at half time. Adding the, they got to add the syrup. They got to add the syrup, man. Mickey Rouse, the boss. We're at the hydration break. Look up on my car note. See you later, mate. See you later. Anyway, I'm just looking at see if there's any update. Obviously, for you guys who tuned in late, Arsenal are preparing a second bid for Bruno Guimarães. No, man said ATST. No, not even a bit Arteta. Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Arteta, traumatic stress. We've seen a lot, people. We've seen a lot. We saw Eddie Nketiah wearing Thierry Henry's number. We saw Pablo Mari at centre-back. Do you know what I mean? We've been through a lot. What's your max price, Bruno G? 70? 70, 75? You shouldn't go any higher than that. Even that's quite high, but I just think he's a really good player, and you've got to understand this market is a mess. It's an absolute mess. So whatever he's worth, we're probably going to pay a little bit more. But when Elliot Anderson costs 116 million, everything's going to get lifted that little bit. Do you know what I mean? It really is. But English players tend to have more tax attached to them. But I suppose the problem we're going to have is Newcastle value him. And because they sold Gordon, they're not desperate to sell him. Bro, Wasim, I was talking about it at the start of the stream. It's so funny. The build-up to the game was outrageous. Vieira, Ian Wright, and Roy Keane. And Roy Keane firing shots at Odegaard, saying he probably got injured hitting the drum. Hilarious. Even he knows. Rather sign Rodgers and Kone. Yeah, I'm watching a bit of. I've seen him a couple times for Roma. 50 million is not bad, but I suppose it depends who they get. Need Gabriel to show him that. Bro, he doesn't need to convince Bruno. Trust me, bro. Bruno, come on. He wants to come to Arsenal, man. He wants to come to it. Why would he not? He's 28. He's at crunch time in his career. What are you going to do with the next 4 years of your career while you're still at your peak? Are you going to stay at Newcastle, who aren't even in Europe next year? Who've just sold Isak. Now they've sold Gordon. They probably lose Tonali. You're going to be the last one standing with no one left. And you ain't going to win nothing. Or do you come to Arsenal? We've already got Brazilian players here. Him and Gabriel Magalhaes apparently are good friends. It's a no-brainer. Of course he's going to want the move. And he'll start as well, by the way. And he'll start. Norway on the attack. Ball's bouncing around everywhere, and Mike Mignon manages to catch it. So he will leave. Isn't he a Newcastle legend? Would they call him a legend? What, one Carabao Cup? I'm not sure. I know they hadn't won a trophy for a while. And remember, yeah, they want Martinelli and Trossard, apparently. Who would you put on? Oh, Rice in the 6, Bruno in the 8, definitely. Bruno's better going forward than Rice. Creatively, anyway. Rice is good at the driving runs. They could rotate, like. But like I said, Bruno last season got 9 goals and 5 assists in a Newcastle team that struggled. And that's only in the league. He got another 2 assists in the cup. So 16 GA in a team that didn't even make Europe, that play on the counter-attack. I think that could go up at Arsenal. He'd just take a lot of pressure off Rice, which is something I want to happen. You can't rely on Rice. I don't know if you saw Rice the other day after the game against Ghana. Left the stadium with his right calf. Was it his left calf? wrapped up. They're literally getting him through games just to play a game, give him treatment. He's going to need time off. I don't think Rice should even be playing that first game against Coventry. I wouldn't even have him in the squad. I'd bring him back late. Arsenal have announced their pre-season tour now, by the way, for anybody that travels. Obviously, they've announced that they're playing Girona in Girona at the end of July. And then when they come back, I think 2 days later, they then obviously go to Dublin in Ireland to face Real Betis. So it's not the most glamorous of pre-seasons. And even, you know, I was really hoping if you go in Spain, go and play Real Madrid or something. But yeah, Girona, what they've said, and I heard about this a long time ago, but the club are concerned 63 game season and a World Cup. They don't want the players to come back and have to do a lot of travelling. They're going to play the Emirates Cup just before. And remember, we play in the Community Shield against Man City. That's a week earlier than the season. So our pre-season is going to be late July, but it's going to be pretty condensed. So it will give them an opportunity. Vincent said, Curtis, I'm so happy. He said today he proposed to his girlfriend and she said yes. Big up your damn self, bro. You know what I'm saying? Congrats. Let us know where the stag do is. You know what I mean? C-Unit Community Stag do. That would be good. That would be good. Vegas? Nah, I'm joking. Big up yourself, Vincent, man. Arteta a bit like that IB for final boss. Dembele on a hat-trick. Dembele hat-trick. Osman Dembele scores a hat-trick. Man said 1, 2, 3. What? You man forgetting about me, yeah? Man said, brother, this golden boot race, don't leave me out of it. Osman Ballon d'Or with the hat-trick. Wow, left foot, bottom corner. Very similar to the second goal. He said, what? You man think this is a joke? I've got a Ballon d'Or sitting in my cabinet and you man are just treating me like some side dish. He's toying with them. Saying pretty much the same goal. He twisted that defender up about 3 times. Osman Ballon d'Or. Scored the first goal, ran off. Second goal, he did that. You man chatting. Third one, look at him. 1, 2, is that 3 I've scored in the first half? Dembele went 19 games without scoring for France. He's now scored 4 in 2 games. This golden boot race might be one of the best we've ever seen in a World Cup. Dembele, Mbappe, Vinny, Haaland, all on 4. Messi on 5. Obviously, Ronaldo and Kane have got a couple each. Unbelievable. Is that the Kvara? Mbappe will want Dembele. So, yeah, you see Dembele get subbed off at half time. Say, no, that's enough, man. Golden boot's coming to me. Yeah, I still keep asking this, like, the draw. I saw a picture of it today as well. I keep looking at who's going to play who. I think Brazil have got Japan, haven't they? So that was... Oh, here we go, the bracket. So... I heard a stat, Mexico have lost 2 home games in 84 games. So if I'm looking at this right... Portugal and Argentina, they're in the same section. Because I know people were saying you could get the Messi-Ronaldo. I don't know if that's a semi-final or quarter-final that they can meet. It looks like Brazil can play England. They're in that sort of side of the draw. Dembele again. Rolls the edge of the box. Oh, terrible shot. Chouameni smashes it over the bar. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. I'll share the screen. Let's have a look. We'll have a look. Well, yeah, Messi's next game is against Jordan. So you'd expect Messi to score again, unless they rest him. So it looks like Germany and France, they're in the same section. So they look like they can meet. And it looks like Belgium and Holland, who are obviously a rival. And Portugal, Argentina. But it can go the other way. It depends where they finish. So Portugal can actually avoid Argentina and end up with England. It all depends where they finish in the group. But it is Brazil against Japan. That's one that we do know. So yeah, it's all over the place. It depends. Yeah, Craig Hope saying we're gonna, and Craig Hope is very good when it comes to Newcastle. Very good. So, as I said, for me, look, I think 100% that Bruno has given encouragement. And why wouldn't he? As I said, he's 28 years of age. He's not even in Europe next season. He's playing in a national team with Vinny Jr. and Neymar and them. Argentina will rotate against Jordan. I don't think Marcos is stuck right on 19 games. He hasn't scored in a major tournament since the World Cup. And he played 19 games in major tournaments for France. Okay, fair. Fair. Oh, second bid for Bruno. Hasn't been made yet. It's on the way. But when he mentioned it the other day, it kind of all broke as the evening went on. So I'm kind of looking to see if we get some breaking news. It's really strange, isn't it? Like, how does a journalist know that we are going to make a second bid? You just wonder where they get that information fed to them from. How is someone from, unless it's Newcastle saying Arsenal have told us they're going to come back with another offer? I don't know. I'm really intrigued to see how much Arsenal value him at. First offer was around 55 million. He's 28. He's got 2 years left on his deal. So you can't get him cheap, but 2 years for a 28-year-old. I just think that Elliot Anderson deal is going to inflate the market massively. That's the problem. I think it will take 70 to 75 million to get him out because of how highly they rate him. They love him. If you speak to a Newcastle fan, they love that guy. I think they love him even more since Isak left because they felt like he's the guy that stuck by them and, you know, Tonali got banned. Now he wants to leave. So I think he's the one they look at. Kia Jarapchin will be desperate to get him out, bro. That's when he gets paid. He's notorious, Kia Jarapchin. South American ballers, you get to a level, he wants to move you on to get the signing on fee. So, listen, for me personally, I've said it all day in 2 streams. Bruno Guimarães for me is a fantastic signing. The fact he turns 29 later in the year, I'm not even bothered. Centre midfielder, Bruno Fernandes just won Player of the Year. He's 31. Centre mids, peak 28 to 32, really. Because centre mid is basically, you're a brain, aren't you, of a team? I think you get better with age usually in midfield. Unless you're a box-to-box that's just pure power and energy in the legs. But Bruno, I think, would come to Arsenal and go up another level. Plus, we got a better team. Newcastle chase after the ball a lot more than we do. Big up DJB, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. Big up Curtis and the community. Enjoying this World Cup. Breath of fresh air from the Prem. I honestly, and again, what I just said, I said earlier, I saw a picture of Arteta and it stressed me out because I realised I'm about to watch 10 months of Haram ball again. But I actually want the Premier League to clamp down on the dark arts. Not all of it, but some of the stuff that even we've benefited from. I'm sick of the time wasting, all of that, the grappling. Just pull up everyone on it. Be consistent with it. I'm sick of watching players take 20 seconds to take a throw-in. I hope they bring this World Cup rule in. You got 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds. Because I'll be honest with you, like, listen, we won the Prem. It's their fault if the Prem doesn't look good. I didn't think the Prem was good the year before either, by the way, when Liverpool won it. We want to see a better quality of football, man. Do you know what I mean? So and again, I hope with Arteta, we play a better quality of football next season. They're bringing rules to the corners, are they? Yeah, listen, I agree. Sometimes you got to stink out the place. Tough game, you got to do it. But I want to see better football. See, do you think scouts are getting better at scouting? Less flops. Thinking Enzo and Rice, good players, are getting sussed earlier. Hold on. See, do you think scouts are getting better at scouting? Surely, but slowly. Less flops. Thinking Enzo and Rice, good players, are getting sussed earlier. I mean, I honestly think Rice and Enzo can't be put in the same category, to be honest. And I rated Enzo, but I don't think Enzo's been that good at Chelsea. He's okay, but Rice has been top quality at Arsenal. He should have actually won more. Good joke, Curtis. Norway, no way. Listen, I liked it. They say when you get older, you laugh more at your own jokes. So, you know. Imagine the France kit in burgundy with the gold cannon. Nike, yeah. That kit is clean with it. It might, like, bring out a burgundy kit with gold writing on the back like the old one. You wouldn't be able to keep it on the shelf. Are they allowed to do it? I don't know. Because that was like a centenary kit, wasn't it? It was for a reason. I don't know, man. I don't know. When we first went in Adidas, I was relieved because I thought Puma kits were not great. But I don't know with Adidas now. I think they're getting a bit lazy. They just copy and paste like, oh, here's a chance. Oh, the goalkeeper gave it away, nearly conceded a penalty. Wins the ball off Doué. They put their massive stripes on the side this year, and then they've done it on Real Madrid's kit. It's like, come on, man. It's the same guy just gone. They must sit down for a meeting. Right, what should we do this year? Let's put some massive stripes on their shoulders. And you know what? We'll make one burgundy and then one red. Yeah, that'll do. Do the same with Real Madrid as well. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's go. Nah, man, come on. I'm ready for Nike. Oh yeah, I forgot to read this one. Big up Carrot. Arteta a bit like the Ibiza final boss when you forgot about him, just trying to go about his summer. Trust me, I realised when I saw Arteta that I feel very relaxed. Do you know what I mean? And it's because we're not watching the football with Arsenal. I want to see 22-23 Arsenal come back. Elise, they're on the break. Mbappe's starving for a goal. Will Dembele score a fourth or will he pass? He passes, he knew. He could have shot then. He could have cut inside and bent that in. Mbappe was like, bro, you better or you're getting dragged off. He should have shot that. Killian, you better not be injured. Get up. He could have scored that. Elise's cold, isn't he? He's just so calm. He looks even better in the 10 than on the right. Ads are appearing as half screen. Why is that happening? And you know what, right? I updated my YouTube today. And the setup looks different as well. It's asking me different questions. So I wonder if I'll look into it, people. I don't want that happening if people are getting a lot of ads. Because I don't like watching videos and getting a lot of ads myself. So if you're getting more ads than usual, tell me in the comments. And I'll try and manually change it because I don't know why that's happening. You're getting ads right for Arcade Cool. Half screen ads. It's a YouTube thing. And you know me, people. I'm Hotmail and stuff. So it might take me a little while. Manu Kone. Oh, I tried to play a little 1-2. This Manu Kone looks decent, by the way. Vieira said he's the best centre mid in France's squad. And he's got a 50 million release clause. We should be... Well, Hand of Arsenal said we've spoken to his agent. So they're probably looking Buwadi, Kone, Bruno. I'd like to get two of them. Because Bruno's at 8. And they could get Buwadi as the 6. But then you're going to have Buwadi, Zubamendi, Skelly, Rice, Bruno. Might be too many, huh? With who? Yeah, we're linked with him, yeah. Yeah, it said we've already agreed personal terms with him. Hand of Arsenal's reposted Craig Hope's tweet. Yeah. It's happening, people. We'll just wait and see. Let's hope the... I want to see a second offer get made. Let's see if we get it tonight, hopefully. Be great if we get a bomber during this watch-along. That we've made it. Kone and Bawadi. Are they too similar, though? I'd say Kone's a bit more... What I'm seeing, he looks a bit more box-to-box. Do you know what I mean? I got premium, changed my life. People, honestly, and I'm not saying this to try and get people to spend money, because half of this stuff that we have to subscribe to is a rip-off. YouTube Premium is a game changer. If you're on YouTube consistently. Even as content creators, we don't get YouTube Premium for free. We still have to pay. It's a game changer. Come off the screen, it still stays live. Go on other apps. No ads, none of them ads. Oh, you got to have... listen, I watch YouTube a lot, so I had to get premium. Yo, big up Unknown C, bro. Big up yourself, bro. He said, yo, big up, happy B-Day, brother. Blessings. Yo, big up. Appreciate everyone who sent well wishes. What day was it? Wednesday. But big up to you, bro. Cheers, bro. Make sure you're in the next member stream. We had a good member stream the other day. Big up main man Oz, who said, big up Curtis, a show idea. Based on where players play for their respective clubs now, the national team competes this way. Which country would win? Oh, yeah, we could do that. We could do that. They'll obviously, as the knockouts start this weekend, I think. We'll have days where we haven't got games in the next week or so. So there'll be more. I'm going to do some different content. But yeah, if anyone's ever got content ideas or show ideas, feel free to share them. Manu Kone gives it away. Yeah, feel free. Had premium for 2 months. Best thing ever. I'm telling you, man. It's needed. The only crazy thing here is that they're 3-1 up France and Mbappe hasn't scored. He has got 2 assists, though. Corner to France. No, Tchouameni keeps it in. That should be... No, he's given a goal kick. Greatest 11 of all time, post-1990, yeah? Farley, I definitely need to get him on. I've said that a few times. I'm going to message him, actually. I've got his phone number. He said he doesn't use... He doesn't use social media too often, so... When you see Kone and Anderson cost 116, it's... I think we've always got to understand, if you buy an English player, they're going to be more expensive. Since the Premier League brought that rule that you have to have so many English players in your squad, straight away that puts the price up of any decent English player. You know, we paid 105 for Deckers. Grealish cost 100 mil. Now Anderson's cost 116. I mean, I think Rice is the best English £100 million plus player. I don't think Anderson's better than Rice. I don't think Grealish at City was better than Rice. I know he won a lot, but individually I thought he was better at Villa. Yeah, 100 mil is 100 mil is like 60 mil now, 70 mil. It really is. And as I said, City want Anderson and they've got the money. So they don't care. It's like a rich person going in a shop. You know, I think I told the story years ago about going into the Gucci store in Marbella and there was no price tags. Because they're basically saying, you shouldn't be in this shop if you need to ask me how much this is. City don't care. Yeah, we want Anderson. Yeah, 116 million. Yeah, we'll pay it. Billionaires, we don't care. So to them, they're not bothered. That they just want the right player and they look at him as the right player. You know what I mean? So I get it. I rate it at the same time. I think Anderson will do well in that team because, again, he's playing for a team that most of the time Forest are chasing the ball. He's now going to go to a team that have 65, 70% possession. So he might go up another level with Rodri next to him. And City don't get many wrong. That's the thing. You're right. Not often City buy a player and you go, yeah, he's terrible. Like, especially expensive players. Half-time whistle goes here. And it's 3-1. The thing that's a bit sad about this game is I think Norway could have really caused France problems if they were at full strength. But they're obviously not bothered. But listen, 4 goals in the first half. City is acting like when I go into the pound shop. I'm telling you, bro. They just pick up everything. Yeah, we know the price. Just pay for it. Anderson will do well there. They reckon he turned down Man United as well. No idea because I'm a YouTube. Yeah, makes sense. Nkapie loan fee was 9 million, hence the 35. Ah, that would make sense. I didn't see that. Big up to Star. Member for 30 months. That's a big loan fee, isn't it? That is probably how we convinced Bayer Leverkusen to let him go. Right, so I'm thinking there's a lot of discussion online as to see, this is what I think Arsenal are doing as well, right? Tonali is probably going to be on the move. So Arsenal probably thinking any chance we've got of getting him, we got to move now. Because once Tonali goes, and remember, they reckon that they've turned down 75 million from Tottenham for Tonali. So their next offer is going to be 85, 90 million. They've already sold Gordon for 70 million. So we've probably got to get a move on. Get Bruno to kick up a bit of a stink through his agent. Get him out of there quick. How much would Pogba cost today? Pogba, for me, I think talent-wise, is one of the best centre midfielders we've seen in the last 10, 12, 14 years, whatever. I think talent-wise, he's absolutely incredible. I don't think there's a better midfielder than him right now in world football. If you're talking pure ability, you can't chat to him. World Cup 2018, Pogba, in terms of ability, he should be one of the very best centre midfielders that we've ever watched. I'm not even joking. For a guy of that height to be that good, technically, physically, yeah, he didn't reach the levels that he should have. Probably made a mistake going back to Man United, to be honest. He probably felt like he had unfinished business, went back there. I think that was the wrong move for him. He'd be when I say well over 100 million. But it depends who you are buying him from. You know, English players tend to go for more. But he was unreal. He was unreal, man. Pogba, he was crazy. And he said Henry was his favourite player as well. There's another. Oh, no, I thought we had another offer. People saying Bomber, man. There ain't no Bomber. There's some account saying, I don't know how true this is, Bruno Guimarães will try and force a move to Arsenal if necessary. He wants Champions League football and has an agreement he can leave if Newcastle didn't make Europe. Dembele hat-trick in 35 minutes. He had 0 goals at the World Cup or Euros until a week ago. Now he has 4. Imagine he just wins the Golden Boot. I'm just looking. Sorry, Pio. I'm just trying to see if there's any. Nah, there's no update. Man United are trying to sign Chouameni, by the way. That's good sources saying that as well. I think they're gonna have a bit of a clear out at Real Madrid. Woof! Elliot Anderson £300,000 a week. It's kind of natural when you cost 100 mil, but that deal is insane financially, and the wage as well. 300 grand a week for Anderson. I'm telling you, this is the best generation to play football financially. What this guy was on Newcastle's bench 2 years ago, probably getting 30 grand a week. And now he's on 300. Big C, where's them folks at Arsenal who don't want my boy Vinny? People get trapped into a mindset. I feel like some of our fans start to try and think like Arteta rather than just thinking like an Arsenal fan. So they go, well, yeah, but Arteta wouldn't. How do we know? Like, imagine if Arteta did get Vinny. You'd have to manage him a certain way so that whatever problem you think he's got with his attitude, you don't see that. Do you know what I mean? You're going to play him. You're going to give him the freedom. Keep him high up the pitch. I don't know if you saw Cucurella's comments the other day about Vinicius. He said, I'm not going to ask him to defend. I'm going to take the responsibility of marking the winger. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to adapt as a manager if you want to go to that next level. Most of the best teams we've ever seen in football, they have incredible individual players. With great individuals, you're going to get attitude. You're going to get ego. Me and Cruz was watching the interview with Mourinho and Akinfenwa. And he's saying, you don't mind having a great player with attitude. It's when you have a player that's not that good with attitude, that's a big, big problem. So even, look, these top managers, they understand how to manage these characters. 40k to 300k in 2 years, Elliot Anderson. Jeez, his car collection and everything's about to go through the roof. Bruno G is the Xhaka replacement we've been crying out for. Bro, I said this so many times. We bought Havertz for 65 million to play left 8. It failed. He ended up going up front. Now he's on the bench. We then bought Declan Rice for 100 million and ended up moving him into the 8. I wouldn't say it failed, but he isn't amazing in the 8. You could say 170 million if you want to add Rice and Havertz. We then buy Marino for 35 million. Doesn't work in the 8 consistently. So you could say we've spent over £200 million trying to replace Granit Xhaka, who for 5 years, I wanted Granit Xhaka out of the football club. And then when Xhaka had his best season, we got rid of him. And then he went Germany and had another great season. And even last year he was decent at Sunderland. Got him in Europe. So I think, and then Bruno G is going to cost you probably 70 million, 75 million. So effectively we spent 275 million to replace Granit Xhaka, which is insane if you think about it. Which is why I always had so much frustration towards the Kai Havertz deal. Because it was such a big risk. He'd been playing up front for Chelsea because he hadn't worked in midfield. So it was like Chelsea bought him attacking midfield. It didn't work. They put him up front, then they wanted him out. And then we've done the same thing. We've gone, oh, even though it didn't work at Chelsea, we'll try it. And then we've put him in midfield. It didn't work. We've put him up front. And then up front, he's ended up on the bench. So we've done exactly the same thing that Chelsea have done. The difference is Chelsea got rid of him quickly, got 65 million for him. We won't. We'll probably give him a new contract. So that's the difference, you know. But yeah, let's see. Big up Alfred. I see why Rabiot is ahead of Tchouaméni. He does nothing good. Never see the forward pass. Him and Camavinga are overrated, not Madrid level. Ah, interesting. I mean, I like Camavinga, but he's injury prone, man. And Tchouaméni, I think Tchouaméni's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. I've said for a long time, Real Madrid are crying out for Rodri. For me, Tchouaméni, and you bring in Rodri. They need a 6 that's more progressive with the ball. Tchouaméni's good. He can break up plays, more of a defensive midfielder. than a deep lying playmaker. I think Rodri is more creative, starts attacks better. So for me, if I was Real Madrid, I go and get Rodri. I know it's not that simple. Man City don't just sell players easily, but yeah, Tchouaméni from Toni Kroos and Modric. Listen, there aren't many midfielders that are at that level, but I think Rodri would be perfect for them. Louis said, "How are we the champs? Taking so long with all the money we earned, we should have got our targets in, because after the World Cup, the prices are going to go up." Do you know what it is, bro? I'll be honest with you, Lewis. And you know me, I'm somebody that will panic if there's need to panic. The way Berta does business is totally different. I think it's because in Spain, they weren't at the top of the food chain. You know, it's Real Madrid and Barcelona. So he had to probably work around what those two were doing. So I think what he doesn't like to do is say, right, we want a centre midfielder. We want Bruno Guimarães. Let's put all our time, our effort and our energy into him, while other players are moving. And then if something goes wrong, Bruno gets injured or goes somewhere else. He's like, what am I going to do? So I think what he likes to do is go, right, what do you want? You want a centre mid? Right, there's 4 of them. I've negotiated all of them. There's the prices. There's the wages. Pick the one that works best for you. Now, as a manager, you probably love that. As a fan, it's frustrating because deals tend to take longer. So it wouldn't surprise me if we don't sign players until after the World Cup, which is annoying, but we've got to trust him, you know? How good was Partey the other day, says J Dime. Listen, let's be real. And listen, people have asked me about him before. He didn't leave Arsenal because of his footballing ability, and we all know that. He's dropping shoulders on England's midfield, sending them to the shops. Partey was a top midfielder at Arsenal. Him and Rice partnership was top. Kalen said, I got to be honest, why don't we move for Mamouche? Nah. Number one, they're not going to sell him to us. Well, I don't think they would. And if they did, then there's a problem. They're the team that we've battled, and then they're going to give us their backup striker. You don't want Mamouche. Even though he's a good player, I think sometimes we've seen over the years with Arsenal, signing players who are ingrained in other Premier League clubs and past it. It doesn't work. I'm not saying Mamouche is past it. What I'm saying is we need our own players. He's a Man City player. Nah. And plus, we can get better than him if we really need a striker. David said, Rodgers, Bruno, Barcola. If we got that, I think we'd have another parade at the end of May next year. I honestly do. That window, it's too powerful. It's too everything. It answers every question that we've got. The only other one, if I was really being picky, I wouldn't mind another striker. But, you know, those 3 would cost. Rodgers would cost over 80 million. Bruno's probably going to cost 70. Barcola would cost over 70. So you're looking at 220 odd million to get those guys. Unknown C, still holding my cards for Vinny. I think we'll get one shot this summer. You know what? I've had a lot of different comments when I bring up Vinny. Some people, he wouldn't come to us. He doesn't want to leave. I understand that. He might not want to leave. We don't know. Behind closed doors, Arsenal might have asked Vinny's agent, is he interested in Arsenal? He might have said no. And that's the end of it. You ain't going to make an offer. So, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, we need a left winger. And one of the best left wingers in the world, I would say him and Kvara at the moment are top 2 left wingers. One of the best 2 left wingers in world football has got a year left on his contract. Arsenal should be all over that. Even if you're getting bids rejected. The reason I talk about it is because a lot of Arsenal fans say, we couldn't get him. Or he wouldn't come to us. And I say, why can't we get him? Now, maybe he doesn't want to leave Madrid. But what I'm saying is, if there's any doubt in his mind that maybe I'm in Mbappe's shadows, or maybe I don't want to play for Jose, or maybe I want a fresh start. One of the best left wingers in the world has got a year left on his contract. Arsenal fans need to start thinking that when a player like that is in a fragile situation, we should be trying to sign him. I was so disappointed when Haaland had a £65 million release clause. We needed a striker. We weren't even mentioned. And he went to Man City. I was like, why aren't we in the race for him? Why aren't we making an offer? Obviously, at the time, we weren't good enough. But if Vinny's got a year left, I want Arsenal to be in the mix, talking to his agent. Yo, what's happening? Is he seeing out his contract? What's going on? Why wouldn't he come to the champions? You know, we pay massive wages. So, Haaland, I wanted Haaland, bro. I thought at Dortmund he was electric. Him and Sancho. Oh, mate, Bellingham. Odegaard's on the bench, bro. He's hurt his finger. Hitting a drum. Nah, he hasn't, but he might have. Roy Keane thinks he has. Big up to everyone locked in, man. 1,500 of you locked in. Appreciate the support. Big up the Twitch gang as well. France winning 3-1. They've made a change at half-time. Norway still haven't brought no Haaland, no Odegaard. They made 10 changes. This is where Josh Kroenke will need to step up and ask questions. Needs to put pressure on Arteta and Berta to go for the best, yeah. Josh might have to step in and go, yo, what's next? How do we go to the next level? Who do we get? Yeah, the French have gone mad with this game, really, haven't they? Like, they didn't really need to go this strong, but maybe they're trying to send out a message. He's lactating. He sprained his wrist, tightening the baby's bottle. Odegaard. You know when Odegaard's getting bantered on live TV by Roy Keane? You know, man. And Keane was a proper captain. Vieira looked uncomfortable. Great banter. The banter before the show was amazing. Alvarez or Krupi? I mean, Alvarez is more ready, but Krupi looks like he could become a top player. But obviously, there's a waiting game involved with that. Would you only take Vinny or Rodgers, Barcola, and Bawadi? Vinny. Yeah, I'm a hype merchant, man. I don't hide it, people. I really don't. I think could we get away for a year with Skelly in the 8, Eze in the 10, Vinny on the left? I'll run that. Oh, even France are booting the ball out for throw-ins now. The game's gone with all those attacking players. Yeah, for me, yeah, I know, Natty, I know. Even Cruz has just said there, you know, Rodgers and them, man, he'll go for that one. But me, I'm not even gonna. I'll be at the Emirates within minutes of that deal being announced. Vinny on the back of the shirt. We do the celebration. Vinny on the left. Saka refreshed on the right. Gyökeres up front. Eze in the 10. Skelly in the 8. Rice in the 6. Run it back, Turbo. Game over. Vinny at Arsenal. Run that. Bawadi, yep, you're a good young player. We'll get you in 2 years. Rodgers, we'll wait another year. Give me Vinny. But if I'm being practical, the other answer is the right. Vinny would be Ozil 2.0. I'm telling you, I need that blockbuster signing. That's what I'm waiting for. Vinny would shatter our shirt sales. He would. Oh, the timer. What am I doing? I kept seeing that comment as well. I'm a minute behind now. Jeez. That's a schoolboy error. He was distracting me with the Vinny question. Man said Vinny will be at left back. Yeah, I hear you. Arteta, you know, you're a hip-hop fan, so run it back, Turbo. You caught that one, right? Nonny on the right, yeah? Nah, calm down, bro. Calm down. Imagine Ozil playing now. The 10s aren't really in the game that much anymore, are they? I feel like there was a time you had Ozil, James Rodriguez, Juan Mata, Isco. There was loads of 10s. Everyone... Bro, can you imagine the Vinicius Jr. welcome video? The internet would break in half. You would have no Wi-Fi signal. You wouldn't even know why. You'd be like, yo, I got no signal on my phone. Yeah, Vinny's just signed for Arsenal, mate. Lock it off. You know what I mean? Lock it off. It would be an all-timer. But listen, we ain't getting him. But I wish we was. I'd be happy if I turned on Sky now and it said Arsenal have 140 million offer turned down for Vinicius. I'd say, yeah, I'm comfortable with it. He didn't want to come to us, but we tried. We went for him. Bro, face the reality, Saka's finished. No, you can't write him off, man. He had a tough year. People were saying that about Dembele when he torn his hamstring. I'm not saying he'll get to Dembele's level. Dembele is a lot more flair about his game naturally, but Saka can still get back to a productive level. Arteta's got to use him properly, and he needs to give him time off. Is that true? I mean, in other news, people, water is wet. Oh, that's a pen. Penalty to Norway. Yo, who got twisted up like that for France? Oscar Bob doing a madness. Theo Hernandez, FIFA hype merchant. See you later. Yo, Oscar Bob, you know, looking like a light skin I show speed. Look at the Cruyff turn. Oh, Theo Hernandez, you're good on FIFA, mate. You're not that great in real life. This French defence can be got at, man. Upamecano got rinsed in the first half. Hernandez getting dealt with. Yo, Norway, get to 3-2 and then bring on Haaland. Try and get the equaliser. Penalty to Norway. Their defence is messy, man. I don't know. They get isolated and get dealt with. Bob's good. I was surprised when City let him go, but probably can't. Yeah, no Saliba, exactly. Saliba don't play, they look shaky, man. Is that Strand Larsen? Yeah. Strand Larsen to take it. Hernandez, one of them players, better on FIFA than real life. No one really talks about him in real life. He's in Saudi, picking up the bag. Oscar Bob was always a good player. I actually thought he was going to make it at City, but Bodo Glimt are going to beat France. Bro, their defence without Saliba ain't the same, is it? Because he's the calm head. Upamecano will headbutt his own player. Strand Larsen against Mike Mignon. Magic Mike. I think he's opening up. Open up side rather than drill. Open up. Told you he's missed it. Yeah, but you did say he'd save it. I told you he'll open up. Terrible. Garbage run up. Saved it. Because I've seen his run up before when he does that stuttered run up. He's waiting for him. That penalty is a shambles. Should sub him off. Strand Larsen. Why do people take penalties like that? I get it, the stuttered run up, but you're relying on the goalkeeper to move. It's not even in the corner. It's a terrible penalty. Absolutely dreadful. There's no way he's missing that. No way. Mike Mignon saves the penalty for France. I'd play Kanate over Upamecano. And I don't even think Kanate's that good, but I think he's better than Upamecano. I've seen Kanate have good seasons in the Prem next to Van Dijk. I'd play Kanate and Saliba. They've given Saliba a rest. This Manu Kone, you know, I think he looks all right. But it just depends what we want in midfield. Oscar Bob rolls it edge of the box. I thought he was going to shoot. Pele invented the stuttering penalty. Wow, I didn't even see that. I wish Haaland and them was playing, man. This would be it is a good game anyway, but it'd be even better. Mbappe looking for the through ball. Doué rolls him in. Mbappe with the pace. Oh, goalkeeper does well there. If he'd have got there first, he's going to be frustrated. I know that feeling of being the striker. Your team scoring goals. Your teammates bagged a hattie. And you haven't scored. He's desperate to score. And then will they play him for 90? He'll want a goal first, won't he? I'm really surprised they haven't used this game to give people a run up. You've got N'Golo Kante, you've got Cherky, you've got Mateta. But I think that golden boot's kicking into gear, man. These men want to win it. Mbappe wants the Ballon d'Or. Second bid for Bruno incoming. What would be a number? I think we offered 55. If you go 70, 65 plus 5 in add-ons, something like that. And then I'd like you don't want to go too high too quick. You want Bruno to then put pressure on them. Say, look, man, 70 million for a 28-year-old with 2 years left. You just sold Gordon for 70 million, and Gordon's younger than Bruno. Even though I don't rate Gordon, but I think you do that. You want Mbappe? Yeah, I'd like to see Mbappe win the Ballon d'Or. He's a top player, man. Why not say 50 on Martinelli? I think that's too much. I wouldn't pay. Listen, I know we don't rate Martinelli that highly, but if we were selling Martinelli now, I'd want 50 million for him. Because Alanga cost 55 million to Newcastle. Mudryk cost 88 million. I get it. Like, Martinelli, in reality, we don't think is that good, but you're talking about a 24-year-old Brazilian international winger who's just won the league at Arsenal. If you sell him correctly, you should be getting 50 million for him in this crazy market where Garnacho's going for 45 million. Come on, man, I'd want 50 million for him. Newcastle have got enough to do that. Man said Jamaican dollars. 50. Bro, I'm telling you, man. 50 M's. Sometimes we undersell our own players. But even if a player's not good enough for us, they can be good enough for another team. They've just sold Gordon. I think Martinelli would be an alright replacement for Newcastle. I don't rate Gordon. Kone does look good, Avanab, for 50 mil. I'd be looking at him. I feel quite comfortable that I've seen Bawadi, who looks very good. We know Bruno Guimarães is very good. And this Kone looks decent as well. Martinelli is good. He should go Villa and play striker. I think Martinelli up front. I mean, I used to have that debate with Kevin Campbell, God rest his soul, but Arsenal have never really used it. And said, see, you really negotiate how many man you bumped in. Not, bro, I'm telling you, man, sometimes it's not how you value them. It's what they are in the market. We're looking at Martinelli. Oh, Martinelli's not that good, man. He's worth 25, 30, 40. Nah, man. The market is the market. If Newcastle called me right now and said, we want Martinelli, which is the rumour, I'd say, that's fine, mate. Well, first of all, you bought Alanga for 55 million. Martinelli's had a better career than him. Martinelli's 24. Martinelli's in the Brazil squad and he's leaving the Champions. I want 50 mil. Minimum. 50 mil, I'll do the deal. And if you want Trossard, give me 20 mil because he's 31 years of age. Reece James, that's what I was talking about. Reece James, you guys, big up for letting me know. Reece James is out for England with a hamstring injury. He will miss at least the next 2 games. Listen, man, I ain't got no sympathy for this guy, Tuchel, man. Like, the way he's treated Trent is disgraceful. Is Mbappe? Oh, he puts it wide. The way he's treated Trent is a disgrace. I'm sorry. Livramento pulls his hamstring before the tournament, misses the whole World Cup. You take Jed Spence, who nearly got relegated, and you take Reece James, who every single football fan knows Reece James is injury prone, and it's usually his hamstring. So you thought Reece James was going to go to a World Cup with loads of travelling in mad heat and play, 7 or 8 games in 3 weeks without getting injured? Of course he's going to do his hamstring. Trent's a baller. You've treated him like a nobody. So it is what it is. Now, who's he got left now? Jed Spence. That's probably his only right back. Spence is rapid. He is. But come on. Yeah, Trent might have to get out of Madrid, bro. I think Dumfries will play over him. Jose likes them proper defenders, man, he'll love Dumfries. You can see that Dumfries will be a Jose fullback. He'll love him. Tall, quick, aggressive, like Ivanovic days at Chelsea. Like a centre-back at right-back. Do I think Haaland will come on? Yeah, I reckon he'll probably come on for 15, 20. Pires in the crowd. There's so many legends over there. De Zerbi wants to get rid of him, does he? Spence. I think with Spence, he's Pedro Porro is their right back, isn't he? So he's probably had enough. And then at left back, they've signed Andy Robertson and they've got Destiny Udogie. So he's on the bench. He's too good to be on the bench. I can't lie. Spence is a good player. Somebody asked me when Tottenham looked like they were getting relegated, if you had to take a Tottenham player, who would you take? I said I'd take Spence. He'd be great competition for Timber if you got rid of Ben White. I can't think. I like Xavi Simons. He's out now, isn't he, for a year, but he didn't look as good as I thought. But then Tottenham are not a good team. I think we should try and sign Yildiz. Juve have closed the door, bro. And listen, money does talk, but they're losing Vlahovic for nothing. So Yildiz is their golden boy now, and he signed a new deal last summer. So I think Juve have shut the door on it. Apparently, Arsenal approached them for him, but they've said no. Which is what I'm saying. When a team shuts the door, Arsenal walk away. Arsenal went in for Yildiz. It's not like they went, well, they've said they're not selling him, but here's an offer. Arsenal are one of those clubs that if the door is closed, they don't waste their time. Which is why I think this Bruno deal, I think Newcastle are in a very, very vulnerable position. And I reckon Bruno is probably saying, listen, man, come on. I was here before all these guys. I've won you a trophy. I've got you in the Champions League. I stayed loyal. Tonali's desperate to go and he got banned. Isak, look how disrespectful he was to leave the way he left. And Gordon left. So I think they'll give him the move. I really do. I think they'll give him the move. Yeah, no. We wouldn't go for Spence now, I'm sure. I was just saying if we were forced to take a Tottenham player, he would have been a good backup option. He could play right and left back. Would we have won the league without Berta? I don't think so. Because I think he would have been signing Sesko and people like that. And remember, there was a story, and this was out there saying that our window was done after Gyökeres. And he made the club. It's Dembele. He wants to give Mbappe a goal. He convinced the club to sign Eze when Havertz got injured, and he got Hincapié on loan. So we would have been probably playing last season with no Hincapié, who we needed because Calafiori got injured, and no Eze. And as I said, Eze, hat-trick against Tottenham, 2 against Tottenham in the next game, Leverkusen winner, assist against Man City, winner against Newcastle, winner against Palace, Sesko up front. Nah, I don't think we're winning the league if Berta ain't there. Berta's a bad man. When we got Berta, I said this is going to be one of the biggest signings at Arsenal since David Dean. He's massive. We haven't had an elite sporting director for over a decade, which is unbelievable that we took so long to get somebody of that level. Yep, the assist against Bayern to Martinelli. Last summer's window felt amazing. It did. I think the strange thing about last summer's window is we won the league. They all made a difference, but we probably expected a little bit more. Oh, unlucky back post. Lacroix. I think we expected a bit more. I'll be honest, from my point of view, I thought Eze and Gyökeres would be amazing. Maybe not Eze because I thought Arteta will stick him on the left. But I thought Gyökeres. But I'm still a fan of Gyökeres. You know, I am, honestly. Even on... Megged. Oscar Bob, but good defending. Hernandez. I just think Gyökeres will get better this season. I really do. I think he'll understand the league more. I think the club will say, look, you've got to use him better. You've got to create more. I'd like to think he will score more goals this season. The assist to Martinelli against City was Eze's biggest contribution. It was massive. Imagine losing that game at home to City when City were not playing well. David said, see, we must buy a right back. It cost us the Champions League. It did. I didn't mean to be harsh, right? I said this afterwards. A lot of people were saying, and he did, Mosquera had a good season, right? Mosquera's mistake in the Champions League final was poor. Yo, Neymar regen. You see that? Check Doué. Tried it anyway. He tried it. Listen, I don't mind. I want to see players doing rainbow flicks. JJ Okocha. He didn't get it right though, but we don't see enough rainbow flicks. Yeah, Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres will do better next season. I really do. Well, I hope so. Get Vinny Jr. to the carpet. I suppose the problem you've got, if you were looking at the flip side and saying why he might not do better this season, Havertz was out from August till about November. So effectively, you could say that Gyökeres might get less game time because he'll be rotated with Havertz, because we know this manager loves Havertz. So that's the only issue. But if he has a full pre-season, Oscar Bob looks better than Noni. Oscar Bob's a good player, man. I don't know. He went Fulham, didn't he? He was a bit of a... Here's Mbappe. He ain't passing this, bro. He ain't passing this. Oh, he's getting desperate. There was no space. Just let it come to you, bro. Don't force it. You got enough creators around you. In our first game, beat Coventry. Yeah, it's his former club, isn't it? Trent can't defend. I'd take Trent at Arsenal, but yeah, would he come to us? Probably not. You want guaranteed first team football. Get me Geller Doué as right back cover. Chelsea won't be buying him anymore because of Palestra. Doué's brother, innit? Yeah. He looks decent. He's tall, isn't he? Imagine Saka doing rainbow flicks. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Need to bin Havertz. He's crap. Go get Ivan Toney or Osimhen. I think the Ivan Toney sort of situation's done, but I take Osimhen. Is Dembele in the area? See, they're fully trying to feed him. He's had a good game, Dembele. Is Barcola. Turkey. Not a bad double change, that, is it? Mbappe's gone, get him off. If he scores again, mate, he goes above me in the golden boot race. How are you dragging him on a hat-trick? I suppose, yeah, on a hat-trick. Sometimes when you score more, you get dragged off quicker because the manager's thinking, yeah, he's got a hat-trick, get him off. Where in your head, you're fuming. You're thinking, I've been the best player. Yo, it's cold. That's Kavaras, yeah. Elise and Dembele off. Barcola and Cherky. Will Barcola be an Arsenal player next season? So we're watching Manu Kone, who we're in talks with. We're watching Barcola, who we're definitely looking at. Corner, Cherky whips it in. Mbappe, cross to the back post. Goes all the way out for a goal kick. Trent in midfield. Nah, the experiment didn't work, man. They tried it with England. After one game, they took him out. Hopefully, Arteta will trust the squad more. But the thing is, you look at Arteta, you think, did he really... Like, why did he buy Norgard to then not use him? Was he convinced to buy him? When he signed him, I thought, yeah, that's a typical Arteta signing, like a steady centre mid, leadership. Played him in pre-season, he looked all right. And then he just basically benched him the whole season. Arsenal CS 80, I'd prefer Barcola on the left instead of Rodgers. Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's a winger, isn't he? I like Rodgers as a player. Massive fan of him. But I want a left winger. You know, I would put Barcola on the left and then put Rodgers in it. I think Rodgers could potentially play left 8 at times. He does like versatile play. Do you know why? Because, big up Napaguna, Arteta knows that we've got a massive injury problem at Arsenal. So he thinks, right, if I get him and he can play in 3 positions and you can play in 3, then if I end up with nobody on the left wing, I can put him, and him there. That's what I think. He doesn't like specialists, does he? Ideally, he wants Havertz up front, who's a false 9. He wants a Rodgers on the left, who's more of a 10/8. You know, he likes them. We've got 2 centre-backs at fullback. He likes that inverted, everyone sort of tucks inside. Apparently, Boadi can play right back, DM, and centre mid, yeah? Holland or Morocco, it's going to be a war. Are they playing each other? That'll be a good game. Very good game, in fact. We're going to get some massive games over the next few days when the knockouts start. Arteta wasted Tierney and Pepe. I like Pepe, man. I just think he should have been kept as a squad player. To sell him for 3 million, he scored 2 last night. He looks good, man. Hydration break. Tierney, at the moment we inverted, he was finished. He can't invert. Curtis, who are you picking as number 9, Alvarez or Gyökeres? At Arsenal, I mean, Alvarez is a better footballer. But do you know the problem with Alvarez is he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to be in the Prem. Doesn't want to play for Arsenal. So sometimes it's not just, are you a better player than him, so we'll take him. It's the circumstances. He left Man City to get first-team football and to go to Spain. He said his dream move is Barcelona. He doesn't really want to come to Arsenal. So, listen, for me, and I know I'm sitting on the fence with this answer, you buy Alvarez and you keep Gyökeres. I just think top clubs, if we are as big a club as we claim we are and we've won the league, you shouldn't have to get rid of Gyökeres to get Alvarez. Man United weren't going, well, if you want to, we'll sell, I don't know, Berbatov to get Tevez. You know, you bought players to add. Gyökeres just helped us win the league. Yeah, you're right. Atletico fans are burning his shirt. So what Arsenal should be doing, if they're really smart now, they should be going, right, he wants Barcelona, but Atletico are going to do everything in their power to not sell him to them because they're rivalry. So we're meant to turn up to Atletico now and go, listen, I know you don't want to sell him. You definitely don't want him to go to Barcelona because they're your rival. There's £100 million. Alvarez, what are you saying? The question shouldn't be Gyökeres or Alvarez. What you're supposed to do, sell Gabriel Jesus, get whatever you can, get him off the wage bill. You sell Kai Havertz, and you sign Alvarez. You go into next season with Alvarez, Gyökeres, Marino is the third choice, and he's shown he can play there. And there you go. Big club movements, people. They might even take a Havertz plus cash. Who knows? He's Germany's number 9. And as I said, people, when it comes to selling players, we have to view them different to how we look at them in our team. We look at Havertz, we go, not that good. But Havertz starting up front for Germany. We look at Martinelli, go, not that good. He's in the Brazil squad. He comes on every game pretty much. So I want that mentality. I don't want to be getting rid of Gyökeres to get Alvarez. I want to be adding Alvarez to Gyökeres. Why isn't Jesus being sold? It's hard to sell a car, isn't it, when it's not in good condition. And it's the same with football, bro. Jesus, when's the last time Jesus was in form? Do you know what I mean? He's on massive wages. That's a hard player to sell. It wouldn't even surprise me if Jesus is still at Arsenal next season, or we have to just loan him out. That's where Berta's got to show his quality. Berta proved he can do really good business when it comes to buying. Selling is going to be massive this summer. Can you get decent money for Ben White, for Trossard, for Jesus, for Norgard? Giving away. Norway are in one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Oscar Bob. Good save by Mike Mignon. Slowed down a little bit there. France defence wide open again. Should have been 3-2 and they've missed a penalty. It was Kunde, I think, who gave the ball away. Oscar Bob's looked good in this game, man. Yeah, I would if I was in charge, bro. I'd be selling Havertz. I'd be selling Havertz. Even the German fans are criticising Havertz. Undav keeps coming on and scoring, and Havertz, they're criticising him. Alvarez or Krupi? I'll probably go Alvarez just because he's more ready-made for the here and now. Krupi could become a top player, but there's going to be a period of... I thought we would go in for Krupi. I really did. Mbappe, you're going to get crowded. Great ball. Oh, unlucky. Is it 3-0 to Senegal? Who scored? Oh, they're playing Iraq. Diarra, Ismail Assar, Idrissa. I actually think Ismail Assar's a good winger. What's the bomber? What, is there a bomber? Big up to Salim, who said, yo, Big C, shout out. Big up, man. Is there a bomber? And who's put the bomber out there, people? Guide me. Or are you... Are they looking at old news? Yeah, I can't see anything. Ornstein, Fabrizio, there's nothing. There was one obviously a couple of hours ago, but there's nothing since. Oh, here we go. Fabrizio, he's saying the same thing. Arsenal are discussing internally to return with a new bid for Bruno Guimarães after 55 million was immediately rejected. Newcastle maintain their stance with the players' camp. Arsenal, they have no plans to sell the Brazilian. That's when Fabrizio is just recycling other people's news. Mockbell, has he said something? Again, is it the same thing? He's basically just said what Craig Hope said. Although he added earlier, didn't he, that Arsenal are still sort of looking at Tonali, but I don't think we will go for him. Arsenal remain in discussions over a potential swoop for Newcastle midfielder Bruno Guimarães with a fresh offer set to arrive. Arsenal also explored a move for Tonali. I mean, that ain't no bomber. Yeah, that ain't no bomber, bro. We read that an hour ago. What you find is one reporter puts it out, and then the next three put it out over the next hour and slightly change the wording. Fabrizio think, right, if I put it out, I'll get 6 million views on it and this, and then Mockbell will put it out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Fabrizio has become a celebrity, really, which is crazy. He's, they put him everywhere. Innit? How has Sarr not got a move from Palace? Always rated him since he played against Arsenal in the Europa League, man. 4-0 to Senegal. The African nations are thriving, people. Love to see it. I want to see an African nation reach... I'd love them to reach a final, to be honest. But 4-0 to Senegal against Iraq. Is that their only win? Ah, they lost, didn't they, to Norway and France. I wonder if does that get Senegal through in third? I think it does. They got better goal difference than Scotland, so they may get through. 46 million followers he's got. That's crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. Can you explain your logic of keeping Gyökeres? No problem. Do you still think he is good? Right. I've said this so many times, by the way, right? Gyökeres isn't as good as I thought he was. But he's also nowhere near as bad as some people are making out he is. It's quite simple to me. When Havertz was our #1 striker, we won nothing. We won nothing with Havertz. We wanted him replaced. Ollie Watkins, Sesko, Gyökeres, get him out. Sell him. We bought Gyökeres. We won the league. He scored 21 goals all comps. First season at the club. First season in the Premier League. To me, it would be silly to get rid of him after one season when he was the main striker in a title-winning team. And we didn't clearly know how to use him. We weren't built for an out-and-out number 9 the way... Look how many times Saka didn't pass the ball to him. Martinelli's not a great creative winger, is he? He runs with his head down. So my thing is, what did Sesko do at Man United last season? He didn't do anything. Man United are not saying get rid of him. You've got to give him another year, man. I've said so many times, by the way, I want another striker. I don't mind if we bring in another striker and put pressure on him, maybe even ends up on the bench. If you get Alvarez and Gyökeres ends up on the bench, I'm not going to complain about it. All right, let's go. We'll spend the next 5 minutes talking about Gyökeres now. Your logic is not it. 23-24, our attack was better with Havertz. And what did we win in 23-24? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Yeah, you're saying our attack was better. We played better football collectively. That's not Gyökeres' fault that we went way more defensive. And Havertz still missed big chances at key moments. He played in midfield against Villa at home, had an absolute stinker, and we got bopped off the pitch. I have no problem with any fan wanting any Arsenal player out the door, right? None. If you're going to get a better player, fine, do it. But I don't get how people think Havertz is some sort of top player, but they want Gyökeres out the door. It doesn't make no sense to me. We've never won anything with Havertz in the team. Yeah, he has purple patches where he's good. He'll miss a massive chance at a key moment. You've all seen it. And he does it. He's done it this season. Man City Cup final, yep, straight at the goalkeeper. Man City in the league, straight at the goalkeeper. Yeah, on the flip side, every now and then, Champions League final goal. Havertz ain't good enough, bro. That's why Chelsea binned him. Exactly, unknown. See, it's common logic. You don't sell Gyökeres when you got two strikers who aren't as good as him. You get them out the door first, then move Gyökeres down to a squad player. That would be my thing anyway. By the way, Oscar Bob this game, very good. I know he missed a good chance there, but technical ability, you can tell. Have you tried ice cubes behind the fan? Cole Plummer, big up. No, I ain't even tried that. I ain't even tried that. It's desperate times out here, innit? Everyone's burning. Having Miles Lewis Skelly, Dowman, and Waneri, I rate them and ceiling-wise. I wouldn't sell any of them. I've said so many times, Ethan, I really hope we don't get rid of him. Not when you look at what young players go for if they have a good season. You know? I wouldn't be... But he's got so much traffic in front of him. He wants to play in the 10. You've got Eze, you've got Odegaard, you've got Havertz, you've got Marino, you've got Dowman. Even though I'd play him ahead of some of those players. And then on the right, you've got Saka, Noni, Madueke. Mbappe, he's in there. If Barcola pulls it, oh, he doesn't find him. I think he should be finding him there, you know. That's not a hard pass. The pace is good. Ah, no. Yeah, it's poor. He just kicked it straight at him. Wouldn't be surprised if Fabrizio is taking brown envelopes from play. 100%, bro. When you're that powerful in social media, you are definitely getting money. There's money being exchanged. He's probably paying agents for info. And they're probably using him to leak info to get their players a move. Cherky whips it in, it's cleared away. I just realised 10 minutes to go. And Haaland and Odegaard are obviously not coming on. I like Havertz, says Emmanuel. I don't mind keeping him as a squad player the way he played last season. Gyökeres scoring 14. I don't care for a few penalties. Yeah. Listen, I get that. I've seen a lot of people say that. Havertz in rotation with Gyökeres. My logic behind moving Havertz on is, and I know people say it's not about finances, and I said that earlier when Lawrence was saying 70-odd million's too much for a 28-year-old in Bruno. I said I don't care about the money. But wages has a massive impact on who you can bring in. And I don't think you can have a player in Havertz on 275 on the bench at Arsenal. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. That could get us 2 players. You could get 2 players for that. Do you know what I mean? So that would be my issue. I agree with that. You get the impression Berta stands up to Arteta. He's a tough character, man. They reckon he had loads of arguments with Simeone at Atletico, but you need that. You need that. You need strong characters. Well, yeah, Havertz would be gone for me. Definitely. He's had 3 years at the club now. I've seen enough. Palmer's on 130k. That's mad, isn't it? I thought they give him a big deal, though. Didn't they give him? But then he was at City on low wages. So his first contract at Chelsea might have been low as well. 100% agree. 100% agree, George. Arsenal, Havertz, Jesus, Odegaard. Move on, man. Them man, they were 22, 23, 23, 24. Odegaard was balling out. Jesus was quality. Havertz had a good time. Them man now are the new Zinchenko and Jesus. Yeah, they've we got to move on from them, man. We got to move on from them. My opinion, but will he sell Odegaard and Havertz this window? I'm not sure, man. What's your opinion on Anderson to City? It's too much, but it won't bother them. Do you know what I mean? It won't bother them. Don't worry about it. It won't bother. They got dough, man. They got dough, so why, he's a good player. You know what's ironic? See, you got fanboys that blindly agree with you, just like Arteta. Not your fault, but sure is hilarious. I don't know about that. Big C, I see Ethan working hard in the gym. He's going to, though, isn't he? The problem is he working hard to leave? Or is he working hard to play? What I will say is, I think because of the World Cup and the amount of players we've got there, Ethan he'll get game time early in the season. Well, maybe not in the season, in pre-season. Does he that? Is that his last chance to try and rescue his time? Gyökeres cleared Havertz best ever league season in a debut year. Havertz 13, Gyökeres 14, and we won the league. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I understand fans saying he's not as good as we thought, or this, that, the other, but we won the league with him up front, and he played a big part. He played a big part, man. A lot of those defenders, he was occupying them up. Like, I know we used to joke, yo, he's a wrestler, but he was occupying to give space to other people. He's got to improve next season. I'm not, if I see the same as, I'd go, okay, no, I need to see that progression. You can't just write him off after a year. But you've given Havertz 3 years. If we were to get Alvarez, would you start Gyökeres and Alvarez? You could rotate. I think you could sometimes play 2 strikers. I remember there was times at City, Haaland was up front, Alvarez was playing in like that second striker role. So I think you could. Um, 5 minutes to go. My timer is a minute slow. My fault. Anderson's not worth 116 mil, but the reality is, if Anderson goes to City, does well, no one's gonna care. Nobody really spoke about Jack Grealish at 100 million, even though he didn't play great because they won the treble. So, big fan of Asgard for Norway, number 19, looking like Declan Rice, long lost Viking warrior cousin. Sometimes you got to invest in them players, aren't you? Reece James out for the next 2 games. Water is wet, Dens. Water is wet. Mbappe has been substituted. Man told Michael Oliver to give the armband to another player. I'm telling you, I've never seen a player do that. Usually in it, or you'd give it to one of your teammates and go, yo, just pass that on to Upper Meccano or wherever. Man called Michael Oliver over and went, hey, give that to him or you're fired. True, man. Michael Oliver went, yeah, I'll give it to him. Killian's fuming, by the way. 3-1, didn't score. Tchouameni is the captain now. France all shot over the bar. You know what? If Norway were at full strength, they might have troubled them. 5-0 to Senegal. Good win for them. That'll get their goal difference. You're going to watch Wimbledon? Yeah, I'll watch a bit of Wimbledon. Summertime, good to watch. Mbappe went, oi, ref, come here. Give that armband to Tchouaméni now. And I won't be off in 5 seconds either. Take my time. That guy, that guy. Kylian Mbappe! Would you sell all Arsenal strikers and take Alvarez and Kane? What? So we're just talking Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus. A no-brainer. Is that what it's looking like? France against Sweden. Wow. Gyökeres will be home. Gyökeres will be home. Norway, Ivory Coast. That's a good game. Maybe Ivory Coast. Scotland are out. Are they officially out now? Let's be real. The best thing about Scotland was their fans and the amount of noise they made. Drinking all the beer in Boston. Their team's not very good. Oliver the yes man. Yeah, Odegaard will be home. Get him home so we can sell him. Nazami said the right wing position will be a problem soon. Max ain't ready. Noni ain't it. I'm worried Saka may be never the same. Selling Ethan is a mistake. Yeah, Ethan should be ahead of Max at the moment just because the experience and what he's done already. Max is very young and raw. But it feels like Max is ahead of Ethan in the pecking order. Because of his age, and there's a lot of value around Ethan, a lot of interest. Nusa. A lot of you raving about that Nusa. Would you say Jarrod Bowen? I mean, he'd be all right as a backup, but then we've got players there now. We don't need him. We could have signed, maybe if Bowen was signed when Noni was signed, but it's I saw him linked to Everton. Moyes, innit? Moyes was his manager at West Ham. Be a good move for him. And Dye on the left, Bowen on the right. That'd be decent for Everton. Ethan should be ahead of Noni. I mean, I don't... It's weird because Ethan seemed like he was at the front of the queue. Do you know what I mean? It seemed like he's going to be the star attacking midfielder at Arsenal as a young player. Then all of a sudden, he signs a new contract, then he stops playing it. And then loans him. Well, the loan might have worked if De Zerbi stayed because he was going to play him, but the loan ended up being a disaster. And now it kind of feels like they're going to sell him. Even when he was on the bus for the parade, it almost looked like he just turned up. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if we sell him. But I hope we don't. Did the same with ESR. ESR was a little bit more understandable because I like Smith Rowe. I didn't want us to sell him. But the injuries were becoming a problem. If you look at Smith Rowe at Fulham, he hasn't been amazing, has he? Let's be honest. He's done okay, but I think the Smith Rowe one was more understandable than if Ethan goes. I think that one doesn't make sense to me. But it is this PSR, pure profit. We spent 200 million plus last summer. If you get 40, 45 mil for Ethan, that does a lot to balance the books. So that's the problem. That is the problem. I think if Skelly didn't get in midfield, his position might have been on the line. Because I think Arsenal were looking at it going, in Capie and Calafiori, we might not need to keep him. So I'm so glad he got that run out in midfield because I think he might have gone. We know Man United wanted him. So he's injured less at Fulham. Yeah. Not the same intensity of games, is there, Played 37 games last year, to be fair. 3 goals, though, you'd think a player of his quality should get more than that, but should have kept Balogun, not Eddie. Totally agree with that. I mean, Balogun wanted first-team football. Some players, they don't wait around, man. He felt he was ready, and he's doing well for America. Fernandez blazes it over the ball. If Skelly didn't get that midfield time, I think he would have been sold. Yeah, I felt like that was on the way. Pure profit is a nonsense excuse. Could have saved 50 million by not buying Noni. Yeah, the Noni deal just still to this day confused me that you had Saka and Ethan. Why did you... We needed the left winger. That money could have been spent on a left winger last summer. that would have started, but I just didn't get it. And look, clubs are getting stung by this. Yo, this Manu Kone is decent. Don't give it away. Oh, you've ran into him. Commentator's curse. You look at Elliot Anderson. Imagine what Newcastle are sitting there thinking. They sold Elliot Anderson to Forest for 35 million. And 2 seasons later, he's 116 million. Starting for England. And don't get it twisted, right? You wouldn't be surprised if Anderson goes to Man City and balls out. You just wouldn't be surprised. Rodri in the 6, Anderson in the 8, Cherky or Foden in the 10. I think it'll look good. Haaland's movement, Doku on the left. I know people are going 116 mil, too much money, he's not worth it. I think he's a good player. He ain't worth it, but City, there's not many good number 8s. And he's 23 and he's English. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if he did really well there. So, Fabrizio has said top clubs are interested. Oh, there's a goal. Doué has scored for France. Doué! He's a baller, isn't he? England, what's going on with England, man? England are playing Noni and Anthony Gordon out wide. These men have got Doué, Dembele, Barcola. Cherky can go there, Mbappe can go there. But they do look shaky in defence, but they're just scoring 3 or 4 goals every game. Where was that story? Yeah, Fabrizio basically saying that top clubs are interested in Gyökeres. Which is interesting, isn't it? Why are they interested? Why would they think? Maybe they've seen that story of him being linked with Atletico and they're thinking, are Arsenal willing to get rid of him at the right price? Yan Diamande is the only player this century to complete 10 plus dribbles and create 10 plus chances across the first 3 games. That doesn't even sound like an amazing stat, does it? Was that Barcola assist? I didn't even see that. I didn't even realise it was him. This Iddy is Iddy Painter. He's not having my Gyökeres. He said, Gyökeres scored 17 penalties. He wasn't as good as you claim. Even Curtis knows he only saw a highlight reel and some stats and said, yeah, poor choice. Don't mean it's a bad take. My point is, right, it's cool that you don't rate him, by the way. I'm not saying you have to rate him. I'm saying, okay, what's your alternative to him? I'm always open to people saying, I don't rate him. I think we should get him. I say, okay, you want Alvarez. Alvarez is very difficult to get at the moment and very expensive, right? He's going to cost you well over 100 million. And I rate Alvarez, but don't forget Alvarez scored 8 goals last season in La Liga. That is not prolific. He very much drops in and links up play. He's not the most prolific. I think Osimhen would be great because he's so good in the air. And we put a lot of crosses in. What team could challenge Arsenal? City, Liverpool. I don't see anyone else. Unless United have a real top window, but still not sure if Carrick, how good a manager is he? Harry Kane would be unreal. He'd suit Arteta's system perfectly. But yeah, I think City will still do well without Pep. They've got a good team. I actually think Maresca's a decent manager. Plays a little bit quicker sometimes than Pep. Pep a bit more possession based. Pierre says, big up C, Cruz and the community. Never seen so many ads on your lives. It's crazy. Happy belated, bro. I'm going to look into that. Honestly, they've updated YouTube and I don't know what's happened. So now I'm getting loads of ads. I'm going to try and change that and get it off because we don't want that. He did score 10 in the Champions League though. But Anthony Gordon scored 10 in the Champions League and no one wanted him. So premium is the way to go, people. Get the ads off. Well, listen, people, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow. We'll be doing England against Panama. If we get any breaking news regarding Bruno Guimarães, then we will have content. We are waiting A second offer is apparently on the way. But will it be tonight or will it be tomorrow? We will see. But if we get breaking news, then I will obviously do a live stream. Somebody just said here, Arsenal pushing means they've had indications from the player. 100%. I'm telling you now, Bruno's given them the okay. Said, if you agree a fee, I'll be there. They said, let's get it done. First offer. For them to reject the first offer and Arsenal are back within 24 hours, they're trying to get this one sped up. They're probably thinking he's at the World Cup. He's got 3 assists already for Brazil. Tonali might leave. If Tonali goes, they might close the door on Bruno. I think Arsenal are speeding this one up. Maybe Arteta said, look, that's the one I really want. So it's interesting. Listen, big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate your support today. Hit the like button. Joni is a new member. Big up to you, bro. Big up to the whole community for the support. I will see you all for the England game tomorrow night. And hopefully we get a Bruno Guimarães second offer because, yeah, I do rate him highly. Big up. I'll see you all soon, people. Bless.